out the trig functions of sine, cosine, and tangent. But there are actually 6 total. So there is one called secant, okay, which is secant of theta is 1 over cosine theta. So it's just the reciprocal, or it's equal to the hypotenuse over the adjacent, okay? So it's the reciprocal, but you can think about it as either way of those. Then there is cosecant, okay, of theta, and that is 1 over sine, which would be in the opposite, the reciprocal of sine, so hypotenuse over opposite. And then finally there is cotangent of theta, which is 1 over tangent. So that's the reciprocal of this, so that is adjacent over opposite. So this is called cosecant. This is called secant. And this is called cotangent. It's kind of a strange situation with the names, but they are what they are. The thing to remember is that there's a C. There's only one that starts with a C in each set. So that's how you can remember that cosine goes with secant and cosecant goes with sine. Okay, and then tangent and cotangent go together. So you use them the same way you use these ratios. If we were going to have a triangle, and let's say this is theta, and this is 7, and this is 6, and I asked you to find the cosecant of theta. Definition of cosecant of theta is 1 over cosine of theta. If you don't want to write that down, you don't have to, but that is going to be, because I always have to think about it that way, not cosine, this is secant. See how easy it is to mess them up? I always try to put the C's together. Okay, so secant, so this is going to be hypotenuse over adjacent. So in this triangle, I have opposite, I have adjacent, I don't have the hypotenuse. So I'm going to have to solve for the hypotenuse. So using Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We've done this a whole bunch of times. It's not done using. So I'll say that a is 7, 49 squared plus b squared is equal, oh, know that one, that's 6. 6 squared and 49 squared, I did this yesterday too. That equal to the hypotenuse, right, which is c squared. 49 plus 6 is 85 is equal to c squared. So 85 and 84, square root of 85. So I'm going to try to simplify this. So 85 divided by 5 is 5 and 17. And those are both prime. So I can't simplify that radical in any other way. So that means that my hypotenuse is square root of 85. So now I'm going to plug in cosine, no, not cosine. Okay, go back. Cosine is cosecant. And 1 over sine. Sorry, guys. So that is hypotenuse over opposite. Oh my goodness. All right. So cosecant of theta is equal to the hypotenuse, which is square root rid of a 5 over the opposite, which is 6. So it's exactly the same thing we've been doing, just what are the sides that make up the triangle. The other piece to this is that if you look at our calculators, you're going to notice we have sine, cosine, and tangent. We don't have the others. If we were at school and we had inspires, you would have all 6 functions if you needed them. But if I asked you for the secant of 111 degrees, okay, you can't really get that out of the calculator. So what you would do instead is say, okay, 1 over cosine of 111 degrees, because it's the reciprocal, right? So I will do that. 1 divided by cosine 111 degrees. And I got, this is equal to negative 2.7904. It's always good to have 4 decimal places with trig. These pens I got for Christmas don't really like to work. So you just have to be prepared that in a calculator, you do need to use the reciprocal. Okay. So when we're talking about a calculator, that's when you need this part. That you need to be aware that they are the reciprocal. So everything else is the same. It's just 3 new functions that are different versions of what we've already been doing. And that's what you're going to be doing today. You're going to be solving some triangles, and then you're going to be figuring out some values using the calculator.